While addressing EFF members at their end of year function, Julius Malema mentioned a very important fact that I forgot to mention in my commentary. I always go on and on about how the Boers will pay for their treasonous acts when Trump's presidential term comes to an end or when he drops dead before then. But Julius Malema put in perspective that Donald Trump represents America. It is in the American tradition to be a bully. So South Africa's problems will not end with Trump's administration. Check out this clip and let us come back and have a discussion.
Really, South Africa must just assume its position and concentrate on internal investment, beneficiation, grow our economy while we are still trying to find other international trading partners. This is not going to end with Donald Trump as regime. Whoever says when Donald Trump leaves, this will change. It's not true. You know that Israel controls the USA. Whoever is going to come after Trump, he's going to be told that South Africa is hostile to Israel and therefore America has got no business with South Africa. So for as long as South Africa maintains its position against Israel, you must know that whatever happens, even if Trump dies tomorrow, we're still in a serious crisis for a very long time, and we need to prepare ourselves for this battle which is ahead and which needs to be confronted.
I don't understand why South Africa allowed itself to be gassed up by Iran to open a case against Israel in the International Court of Justice. I don't understand how South Africa can be okay with the genocides happening in the DRC, Sudan, and the lawlessness of Libya and not say anything. But a minute a country with a lot of cameras and fame on them cries genocide, ANC is in the forefront. There's nothing that says I love attention than the South African government. Our involvement with Israel and Palestine's issue is unneeded like pineapple on pizza. Anyway, Malema mentioned how South Africa should prepare to make trade partners right here on the continent instead of exporting from the global north with their high tariffs. Malema further responds to Trump, Elon Musk, and the Boers after they fought hard to declare him an international criminal and ban him from America. He says he doesn't care to enter America, where he'll be most likely to be fed poisonous food. He'd rather enter African countries with ease without prejudice and discrimination. I love the fact that he mentioned food production in his response to America banning him from entering the country. This should signal a new food production deal that will benefit Black farmers and sustain the continent as a whole. Check out this clip where Julius Malema tells America where to get off. You know, America thinks it's so slick banning him from entering the country. Who cares about America? Who cares to go to America? Like, why would we care about a country that barely has its health in order? Check out this clip. Julius Malema sets the world on fire.
Even if America decides that I should no longer enter America, it's okay, I will enter Zimbabwe, I'll enter Botswana, I'll enter Nigeria, I'll enter Africa, my home. Why should I be concerned about people who are going to feed me beggars and make me fat when I can go to Nigeria and eat jollof? Nice, nom, nice food. So why must I fight for beggars instead of jollof? When we're in Nigeria, you must, DSG was there. We're given a nice jollof rice and what is that goat soup? Pepper soup by the governor of that state, Enugu State. Ah, la la.
Yep. Why would he enter a country that will feed him cancerous food when he can just eat jollof rice and mashonja right here on the African soil without prejudice? Which got me thinking, South Africa is importing GMO poultry from America. And as it stands today, with South Africa's potential expulsion from AGOA, South Africa has blocked chicken imports from America, which cost America to lose $450 million in a day. America was not happy, threatening to pull all aid and partnership if South Africa does not lift import duties on cheaper cuts of chicken.
In South Africa today, even chicken, we get it from outside. Because the one produced in South Africa is expensive. And the chicken we get from outside is not chicken. It's the rejects and the leftovers. Rejects and leftovers doesn't mean expired rotten food. The Americans choose. They don't eat everything on the body of the chicken. All those parts that they don't eat, they send to us. So they don't like things like wings. They are people of a breast and things like that. The rest, they put it there and then they come to South Africa. Those are rejects of America. So we become a dumping area. Because they are rejects, which ordinarily they would have thrown them away and not make money out of them. Now they send them to us and make as little money as possible. Whatever amount of money they can make, it's okay, because anyway, we're going to throw it away. That's why they come and sell it cheap here. But the producer of chicken here cannot afford to sell it cheap. As a result, most of the chicken factories in South Africa have closed because we could not protect them. And then we come back and say there are no jobs. So all you need is a decisive leadership.
A popular animal product in South Africa is poultry meat. And now that $20 billion market is at the center of a trade disagreement with the U.S. The U.S. is warning South Africa that it could lose a lucrative trade deal if it doesn't open up that market.
Welcome back. The dispute between South Africa and the United States over chicken import duties continues to hang over South Africa's extended inclusion in the African Growth and Opportunity Act, AGOA. 2 United States senators have threatened to try to block South Africa from the lucrative U.S.-Africa trade agreement if the country doesn't lift import duties on cheaper cuts of chicken.
South Africa just sent a message Washington never saw coming. For years, U.S. chicken flooded African markets, undercutting local farmers and dominating shelves. But today, everything changed. In a stunning move, South Africa has officially blocked U.S. chicken imports, and the fallout is massive. American exporters are staring at a $450 million loss, while South African farmers are celebrating the biggest victory they've had in decades. This isn't just about chicken, it's about power, trade, and who controls the future of Africa's food economy. And the moment this decision hit the global market, analysts started calling it a wake-up call for the United States. Because if one African nation can break away from American agricultural dominance, more could follow. Stay with me, because what comes next might reshape global farming, global politics, and America's position in Africa forever. South Africa's bold decision to block U.S. chicken imports didn't just shake up the agricultural world, it sent shockwaves through global trade, Washington politics, and African economic strategy. This moment is more than a trade ban. It's a tectonic shift in how African nations see themselves, how much economic power they are willing to reclaim, and how the United States handles the reality of losing influence in markets it once dominated. To understand the depth of this story, we must go back to the roots of the chicken trade, the political tensions behind it, and the new wave of African economic independence rising across the continent. For decades, the U.S. has poured cheap chicken into African markets, especially leg quarters, wings, and cuts Americans consume far less. These exports were heavily subsidized, mass-produced, and priced so low that African farmers simply couldn't compete. In South Africa, this became a long-standing battle between local poultry producers and foreign exporters who had the advantage of scale, technology, and subsidized production. As a result, South African farmers often watched their costs rise while cheap imports flooded the shelves, limiting their ability to grow, invest, or dominate their own domestic market. But today, after years of pressure, negotiations, trade disputes, and economic modeling, South Africa finally said, enough. the government announced the immediate suspension of U.S. chicken imports, citing concerns about unfair pricing, economic strain on local farmers, and the need to protect national food security. This decision triggered celebrations among South African poultry associations, farmer unions, and agricultural stakeholders who have been arguing for years that foreign imports weaken local industries and trap countries' independency. For the United States, however, this wasn't just an agricultural setback. It was a multi-million-dollar blow to an industry that has relied heavily on export markets to absorb excess production. The loss of $450 million is not just a number, it represents supply chains disrupted, contracts terminated, farmers pushed into uncertainty, and shipping companies suddenly facing dead roots. It also reflects something much larger: America's slipping grip on African markets. This move didn't come out of nowhere. South Africa has been pushing hard to strengthen its agricultural sector. Government initiatives to boost local poultry production, increase farmer training, improve feed systems, and support smallholder farmers have been underway for years. The country knows the power of controlling its food supply. It understands that when local industries thrive, jobs multiply, economies stabilize, and food inflation becomes manageable. But foreign imports, especially cheap, subsidized ones, can crush this progress in an instant. So when the South African government finally pulled the trigger, it wasn't a rash decision. It was a strategic move, a reclaiming of economic power. And the timing couldn't be more symbolic. Across Africa, nations are rejecting economic patterns that once kept them dependent and vulnerable. Countries like Nigeria, Kenya, Tanzania, and Ghana are implementing new policies that favor local production over foreign imports.
I ask again, why are we importing chickens in the first place when there are thousands and thousands of black poultry farmers that can supply our market with chicken and other meat? South Africa has for years allowed cheap American chicken to dominate local supermarket shelves, undercutting and suffocating black-owned poultry farmers who struggle to access markets, capital, and fair pricing. While foreign imports thrived, local producers were pushed to the margins, robbed of financial freedom, and denied the chance to build sustainable businesses in their own country, all in the name of maintaining good trade relations with the United States. Now, the moment South Africa takes a stand against bullying and halts U.S. chicken imports, America responds with hostility, proving exactly why dependency is dangerous. This should be a wake-up call for Africa. We cannot keep feeding ourselves through foreign partnerships that later become weapons used to bully us. No, we cannot. And I repeat, we cannot keep feeding ourselves through foreign partnerships that later become weapons used to bully us. Supporting local farmers is not just economics, it is political survival. I don't understand why South Africa, that is rich in poultry farming, that is an agricultural gold mine, will import GMO food, GMO chickens from America, all because they want to keep the Boers in the AGOA Pact happy. We cannot do that. We cannot sacrifice our sovereignty to keep the white supremacists of the Trump administration happy. We have chicken farms all over South Africa, owned by black poultry farmers that want to tap into this lucrative market and want to make money. What did 1994 signal, guys? Didn't it signal freedom? Doesn't that come with economic freedom? Or was that just a front to keep us subdued and stupid while the Boers continue making money at our expense? No, guys. No. I am not happy. I am not happy at all. This is filthy and disgusting. We should not be importing cancerous food from the United States when we can feed ourselves right here at home. When are we going to have a chance? When are we going to be taken seriously in these markets? When are we going to put a hand in these lucrative partnerships and agreements? No. I think it's time that we source other agreements right here in Africa. We must do business amongst ourselves. We must import our own products right here and stock them on our shelves. Because at this point, what we are doing is importing expensive foods with high tariffs, by the way, to keep the Boers happy. To keep them happy through this AGOA Pact. And what do they do to thank us? They thank us with a plate of shit by lying on international stages that we are murdering them, that we are taking their farms without compensation, that we have waged a war against them, all because they fear equality, all because they don't want black people to participate in the economic growth of South Africa. They want us subdued and poor. And the ANC has allowed that for 30 years. How rotten. They've all betrayed us. It's not America alone. It's not Trump alone. It's not America alone. The ANC has a hand in this. Nelson Mandela has a hand in this. He has a hand in pushing us further below the poverty line and subduing us till the end of time. When is it going to be our turn? When are we going to participate fully in this AGOA pact? I don't want to even participate in AGOA pact. When are we going to start trading our produce, our homegrown produce, to other African countries and vice versa? When are we going to start doing business amongst ourselves? No, these imperialists are using their imports, their lucrative business deals, to subdue and bully us. The very same food we are ingesting, they're using it to corner us. It will heed you well to wake up, black child. You are on your own. Your government is the reason why you are still in poverty, when they know that we can do it on our own. Literally, ANC would rather pump in lots of foreigners from across the world to flood the market, so that they can make extra couple of dollars, so that they can make extra money to take their concubines to Dubai while we suffer. They never let us participate in lucrative economic deals. They'd rather have foreigners flooding our markets, flooding our supermarkets, flooding what we eat, dictating what we put into our stomach, rather than have us participate, have us black farmers and poultry business people participate in this lucrative economic market. There is money to be made, but unfortunately not for black people. Shame on you, ANC. Shame on you, Nelson Mandela, wherever you are. What do you think about this segment? Comment to us in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and share the broadcast. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss these groundbreaking conversations right here on the African Diaspora News channel.